Hello and welcome back to Round 3, final round coverage of the 2022 PDGA United States Amateur Disc Golf Championships. I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to everyone, including the PDGA, Discraft, Great Lakes Disc, Kendrew, Mueller, and Airbound Productions for helping us get this production out this year, and of course to Papa Wolf, who's my co-commentator for all 3 rounds. How you doing today?
I'm fantastic, excited to see this round.
We had some movement in the round 2 there, and we've got a great card for us, starting with Jonathan, MVP sponsored, throws a little bit of things we saw Ty throwing in round 1.
Phil Penrod, repeat guest on the show.
Yep, he didn't want to go anywhere. He wanted to stay right here. Along with Haft, Bryson Haft, big power thrower. Happy to have him back.
Great smile, he's excited.
Both him and Phil shot even in round 2.
And speaking of being even through 2 rounds, Payton Staman from Indianapolis, Indiana, a wonderful Discraft Underground player like myself.
Love to have him, and he shot hot round in round 2, so he's going to move all the way up here. Chase Card moved 28 spots to do so, and we're looking at hole 1 now, 477 feet. Just kind of tails off to the right there. Forehand players have the advantage if you have that power. You can throw a backhand. You really want to avoid the long grass and the woods there on the right of the basket there.
Shout out to Travis Lowe, who helped me do the calls all week from hole 1 at the Toboggan. Good looking guy right there.
I love the socks.
Yeah, I went with the America theme.
Borzick.
I'm loving it. Jonathan here has a mixed ability here, and he can throw forehand and backhand. His bag is very versatile. We're going to see a lot of very interesting shots from him during the round today. MVP is also usually a little flippier too, so we'll see some really creative stuff.
Yeah, he was a great guy to have around hole 1 all week. Very nice, very polite. Phil throwing backhand, hoping it gets turning.
Oh, it's turning.
Uh-oh.
It needs to stop turning. It's not gonna. Way over there. Not a good position. It's going to be tough to save a 3 from there.
Well, shout out to Nick Green, spot on hole 1 all 3 days. Love to see that. Discraft employee.
He was working and then spotting and then sleeping.
Yeah. Overnight manager and then spotting during the day. Bryson was just a cannon.
Yeah, this was looking really good. Drifts a little too far right. He's going to hit some of those early trees. He's going to get caught in that little cluster there.
Payton Staman.
It was really cool to see this card. They had, family, friends. They had a good little group following them. Jonathan had his dad caddying, and Peyton had his fiancée there. So it was really cool to see the vibe on the card.
And Tim actually stepped up and volunteered to caddy for Phil.
Yeah.
After his round.
Tim Bowen from Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to have him, be able to chat with him. Phil's a little out of position here. He's looking to just kind of scramble. If he can get up and down, he'd be happy with that.
Wind was a little bit stronger at this point, and I just love the control coming in.
When you only throw backhands, you get pretty good at it.
Yeah. Great safe layup by Jonathan. Get that par, walk out, go to the next one. Ooh, Bryson is pinched.
Yeah, he was having a bad moment there. It's extra bad because he's tall.
Right.
Peyton, on the other hand, was in the middle of a thorn bush and nearly is able to scoot that into basket. Very close to getting some chains there.
Looks like we're going to get a lot of gray squares. Like to see that on hole 1.
Mm-hmm.
Get the vibe going.
Yeah, no red squares on 1. You just want the gray.
Yeah, Peyton gets a nice one there.
2 for 2. Hole played as .16 over par.
Only a total of about 10 birdies that final round.
Mm-hmm. It's a tough one to get. First hole, definitely if it was middle of the course, it'd probably be easier, play a lot easier, but because it's that first hole, lots of wind reading going on, plays a little more difficult, and we're off to hole 2 now, 680 feet uphill. I would say you want to probably be at the bottom of the hill, or if you have the power, try to get up the hill as much as possible if you're trying to truncate and get that birdie look. Plays as one of the more difficult holes during the first couple rounds here. and that is no exception. This round is still one of the more difficult holes to execute and get a birdie on.
Yeah, more double bogeys on this hole than birdies on this hole.
That I believe.
To give you a reference on the difficulty. Like you previously mentioned, John's got a full gamut of shots, so great placement forehand here right at the bottom of the hill. It's a great, smart play.
And having that versatility in his game is really beneficial, too, because on a hole like this where Phil really wants to be on the left side so that he can use his backhand hyzer to his advantage, and Jonathan, having the ability to go forehand or backhand, wants to be more in the middle so he can kind of see what weapon he wants to utilize here, versus Haft, who wants to be on the right side because he's just got an enormous cannon with his forehand.
For sure. He does get the friendly roll back out to the fairway after drifting a little right.
So friendly. It's worth noting that coming into this round right now that Jonathan was tied for 4th. Phil and Bryson both tied for 5th, and Payton tied for 7th here. There's a really close race outside the top 3, but they're all within striking distance. We saw the top 3 players struggle in round 2. Hot round was -1 between them, and we saw +1 and +2 out of the other 2 leaders. So there's a chance here, especially with some guys looking to kind of make a move here on this final round. Maybe they can move up the leaderboard, maybe make a challenge if those guys don't step up and execute.
Yeah, I really liked Payton's approach there. He took a controlled frisbee, never got too aggressive, a nice smooth and easy throw. Same for Phil, smart, not trying to overthrow, overcommit, not trying to lose any strokes on this hole.
Right.
John, a little bit closer than both of them. Goes about the same distance up the hill, though. Again, controlled.
That flat landing spot is really a lot of players will aim for that.
Bryson's got the power from a standstill to get up there, but it looks like it's hyzering out a little bit quicker than he wanted. But he's right in the same area as Payton.
It's crazy that you say standstill, because if you've ever been at the bottom of that hill and you say standstill that shot, that's insane.
That's a standstill 2 driver for me, from where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Payton puts it up there nice. Or is that Phil? I apologize.
I think that was Phil.
Yep. There we go.
That's Jonathan's specialty, is putting it right by the basket.
Yep. Watch your head on the way up. Long look here. Safe.
Yeah, just off the top of the basket there.
Didn't get on its edge and roll or anything. It was a pretty safe, smart play.
Bryson said he didn't want to run this when he was walking up to it, but because Payton ran it and almost made it, then he had to run it. But he's still by the basket anyway, so it worked out.
I think everything's good. Smart play right there. Gray squares.
Yeah, Gray Squares on this hole is doing okay. Hole 2 playing as the 4th most difficult hole on the day at 4.41.
And what's fun about that, the transition to hole 3 coming up next actually played as the 2nd easiest hole on the course. Still playing above par, but playing as the 2nd easiest nonetheless. There were a healthy amount of birdies on that one, a healthy amount of pars as well. So we will look at this hole now, 915 feet downhill. You want to avoid right or left off the tee pad. Do not go where you can see trees right now. It's scary. It's thick. There's, woodland creatures, things like that. With no OB, you'll see a lot more players bailing out left. The drone doesn't give you quite how much that uphill is right there at that final spot, meaning if you do land on the right side shortcut, it is tough to see the basket. You can see the wind is pushing. Jonathan with a backhand.
This looks like it's going to come out left a little early, but in the short grass, which is a great spot.
Yep, nice and safe, and more importantly, flat footing.
See what Phil does here. He went left last round. This is moving back towards the woods.
Oh, it's stabling. It's a bomb.
Yeah, this is a great shot.
That is really far down. That's past the spotters. That's past the camera people.
You're not in the way. How's that?
And that's a perfect landing spot. You can still see the basket from there without getting too close to that hill.
Phil, being a backhand player, is going to have a great shot going up there.
Bryson was really at that hill, the long grass last round, and this one hyzers out early, so he's going to be out in 14's fairway this time.
Yeah, doesn't quite get the S out of it that he got last round.
I really want to know what this is from Payton, because it has such late flip. Like, out of his hand, the whole card was like, well, see you in 14, and then all of a sudden it was not going there. It was going towards the woods.
Yeah, that is crazy.
They got clean.
Here's Haft from 14's fairway. He's going to leave it out wide right and try to hopefully let the stability of the disc bring it back, but he leaves it a little too wide right. Finds himself just off the fairway in some long bushy area. Jonathan here keeps it low. Probably need another 5-6 feet of height in order to get that all the way to the basket. He's going to get caught up in the grass early and kind of a long look just outside circle 2 probably.
Phil with that great drive. His approach is looking pretty clean.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Yeah, buddy.
Payton very fortunate to not go down that valley. He's right on the edge of it, and his forehand power is going to give him a chance to try to attack this basket and attack it very well. It puts it a couple feet away.
Yeah, buddy.
Haft,
Safe bid.
Yeah.
Safe bid.
Yeah. It's a good spin putter. Just kind of floats it up there. We actually found a different disc before we found his.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at Toboggan.
We found a destroyer. You're like, awesome. And he went to go walk behind it. It's like, this isn't mine.
Yeah, well, Phil gets our first green square,
Yay, green squares.
and that's exciting for the group.
We got a gray square.
Yep.
Gray squares are okay.
Off fairway, still par. Can't be mad at that, Bryson.
Payton with a great green square from where his drive went.
Yeah.
Very fortunate to have an opportunity to get that.
Jonathan with a gray square.
Since 2015, Great Lakes Disc has been supporting players at all levels, from local leagues and events to professional disc golfers on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Visit GreatLakesDisc.com to learn more.
All right, off to hole 4 now, 580 feet. Played as one of the easier holes all 3 days. In fact, it's the easiest hole today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And you really just want your drive to at least get into this landing zone. You can go for the riskier far right hyzer approach. We'll see a couple guys do on this card with their power. Try to get past those trees, and then you have an upshot along this hill. It is kind of a, what'd you call it, turtleback?
Turtleback.
And so there's a rollaway opportunity if you don't use the hill as kind of a skip option. We'll see what these guys kind of plan to do here.
Oh. That's a fortunate flare off the pine there.
Don't want to be underneath that. No bueno. Payton's got plenty of power. He's going to try to take that right gap. A little skinnier, a little riskier, but the reward where he landed is exceptional.
I think that's John's dad there. What's up, Mr. Borzick?
That is. Nice guy. Real friendly all day. And he helped us spot all the entire time, so shout out to him, making the extra run.
John with a really safe, smart play right there. Finding fairway. At the players' meeting prior to the event, John Minicucci, the TD, said, just find the fairway. It's that easy.
Just find the fairway.
Yeah. Clint finds the fairway. Bryson finds the fairway.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be pinched up against a tree, but usually you can kind of go to a kneel down forehand from that position to get under everything, and hopefully you'll have a look.
Phil had a line, but I think it looks like it went a little high, drifted, and then dropped down.
Very popular tree to catch stuff.
See if John uses the hill. Yeah, he does, but just hits a little lower on the hill than I think he wanted.
Yeah. You really want to hit that dirt patch, and he kind of landed in the grass as well, which doesn't help. Payton in an ideal spot here. I think that's his Z zone.
That does look like a Z zone to me.
I couldn't remember, my brain Couldn't remember if it was Z or Crystal, but I'm pretty sure it's just a Z zone.
Bryson with a step out. Gets to an open area, gives himself a look.
There's a number on the bag.
He's actually going to be the first to go at it as well. Nice little lofty bid, but it's going to land by the basket.
Safe 4. Safe 4.
He's very quick to putt those, too, when he thinks that it's more of a layup than it is a run. Jonathan's going to be by the basket as well. Phil with a chance to save his par and can't quite get it.
Payton trying to get a green square here.
Payton feeling like he had something to prove after that round 1.
Yeah.
Shooting +3, and he has done a nice job of getting himself recovered in round 2. And he's off to a good start here in round 3 as well.
And I like to see gray squares still. Bryson gets one. Here comes Phil for his. Oh,
That's a great. Yeah, it's a red square.
red square.
Yeah, that stinking
Oh,
tree caught him early.
Well, we can transition to a beautiful hole then and forget about that. Because we're at hole 5. It's 480 feet downhill. You don't want to go right. You don't want to go left. Stop me if you've heard that one before. Some players get all the way down here and bank it off that down tree and have it skip to the left. Beautiful addition to the park last year and then upgraded this year. Thank you to the park.
Love it.
Thanks, Dave, for doing all the work out there. You know who you are.
We're going to get a comment. It's like, I'm Dave. That's me.
Payton throwing one down here, maybe trying for the bounce shot. It doesn't quite make it to the log, but he's going to have a clear view at the basket.
That was a well-executed, understable kind of disc throw. A lot of people tend to turn it over too early. He did a nice job of getting out on hyzer early and using the full fairway. Jonathan really likes to throw stuff straight, so this is a good hole for him, and he's too good for the hole.
Wow. That was a long, straight shot.
Half trying to make a correction from last round as he kind of blew up a triple bogey last round. Big purple square. He's trying to correct that, and he's off to the left side there. Not an optimal position to be in.
See if Phil can recover from the red square. Oh, beautiful. Keep going. Keep going.
skip.
Slide.
Yeah, that's an open putt.
Yeah. That's all you asked for.
Yeah, the grass slows
Give
down.
me a chance.
This hole playing as the 3rd hardest hole in the day. Not surprising, but
Yeah, almost averaging a full half stroke over.
yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, that's just how difficult a straight shot for 480 feet is. That's going to be a layup for Bryson. He's just going to take his medicine here, not go for a purple square. Phil's going to run this nice and high,
Oof.
tickle some chains, had a chance. Not going to fall for him this time.
I'm glad that laid down. Whenever it flops back up and goes vertical, I get nervous. Oh, look at this step out putt. Oh,
Band.
what a run.
Should have been doing a band counter for all the rounds. We've had like 4 or 5 of them, it feels like.
Well, Bryson's going to get the red square, and looks like everyone's going to hopefully clean up for the gray square.
The wildlife on this hole was being very active as well. When we were coming through, there was a family of, I don't know what kind of crane they are.
Sandhill cranes.
Sandhill cranes. They were trying to claim the territory of the basket, but we wouldn't let them.
Wow, I'm glad there wasn't a fight, because I think you might lose.
Yeah, we probably would have. I was just going to let them handle that.
Hole 6 has got 2 great landing zones. Off the tee, you're going to want to manage the open area. It does get a little bit tight. And then you're going to want to land prior to that big tree probably, or just past it. Giving yourself a second shot over this gully. And then landing on the very rounded turtleback green. Thank you to the park for adding grass to help slow down some of those incoming shots. This is a great attackable hole once you land safe after your first shot.
I don't have the exact stat here, but I know it's one of the very few holes that improved as a field average all every round.
That makes sense. The more you play this hole, the more the line sticks out to you.
People who are trying to be aggressive stop doing that. They start laying up, taking easy fours rather than bigger numbers. And the guys who can attack it figured out what that line looks like. And we got 2 guys doing it perfectly so far. 2 great shots. Phil executed this hole really well yesterday. He's going a little more inside this time. And another perfect drive for him.
Bryson does go with the forehand option.
Yep, little Captain's Raptor. He's going to be shorter than everyone else, but with his forehand standstill power, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That must be nice. Oh, it looks like he's cooked this one, turned it over.
Yeah. It looks like it did settle, though, pretty quickly. This is such a tough body control shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very tough. You're very correct there.
Jonathan had a more natural line to it. Looks like he came up a little short. Well, just when I say that, he sprays by the basket.
Phil in a little better position, he said, this round, being a little more right. He really likes to kind of commit this disc to turn over. And he has this hole on lockdown.
Yeah. Looks like he just drew that one up.
Threw the same disc all 3 rounds twice to get it into the circle all 3 rounds.
Is that upside down?
It was not. I thought the same thing when it came out of his hand too, though.
Love seeing creative shots. Get in there. All right. Here comes Jonathan.
Chance for some green squares now.
Man, everyone's standing right behind the basket. That would have been tough for me to make that putt, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I think our card did a really good job, and I think this is a note worth saying for anyone who does get filmed or do have people watching, is that you just ask, because it happened once.
Yeah.
You just ask them to politely move a couple steps to the side so that you can get your focus in place, and then you just hit the putt.
Yeah.
And our guys were really good about, when they needed to say something, and if they were ready, then they could just go, and it just didn't matter.
Phil got that green square, so that's good, and John cleans up for the par.
He has a lot of gray squares right now.
Gray squares are great.
Gray squares are good.
Par is good.
Just kept telling myself, one shot at a time, just worry about your shot and not anything else.
What a shot. Here's Dickerson.
You can't control what anybody else does, so.
That was incredible. When he needed it most.
2-time major champion, Chris Dickerson.
All right, hole 7 is beautiful. It's 667 feet. You're going to want to have a control drive off the tee, trying to pierce this open area. Once you get through this open area, you're going to have a low ceiling attack to a green that, once again, is trickier than it looks because it does raise up a little bit. And all the shots coming in short actually hit on an angle, slowing their shot down more. Phil's going to lead us off.
Phil was a little early last round. Early leaked left. He's trying to make the correction here.
And gets through the guardian trees, and he's got an open fairway between him and the bucket.
He sure does. That's a great shot. Can't ask for much more than that. Or I guess you could, but it's not much better.
Yeah.
Pretty similar.
It's not going to get you much. Oh, donut got hit.
Close. Landed right above his head. He had to dodge it real quick. We have not yet had a donut hole-in-one.
It's going to happen.
I don't know. I don't think it can. Without a nasty ricochet.
Well, all I know is 3 out of 4 of our guys so far are pretty decent shots.
Absolutely.
Bryson's got some power.
Yeah, he absolutely just pumped one last round, and he's looking to repeat.
Yeah, I hope that settled down for him so he's got a great view at the basket. Hey, there's John, a.k.a. Nacho. Spot on hole 7 in the final day.
I think Jonathan's play there was really good. Put it on a little bit of hyzer, but leaked it out a little far right. He's going to be getting knocked down.
He's going to have a safe 4.
Yeah. His forehand approach game is really solid. He puts it in bullseye more times than not.
Oh, look at that settle. Great control by Payton there on the forehand.
Love to see it.
Phil's got a great angle to come in the green for a backhander.
Yep. And he likes to throw hyzer. It's a little short.
Yeah, we did have to worry about the hill grade. We talked about that.
And it doesn't counter at all because of the grade. It always flares away if you end up getting a skip.
And there comes Bryson, just having some fun, doing a nice little fun turnover forehand. Maybe I'll just throw it in for fun.
I mean, we'll have fun too. Or I would at least. I want to know what this is. I think it's an NV, but I don't know that for sure. There's a lot of things in MVP's lineup that would work really well as a little forehand approach disc like that.
Oh. And Payton is starting to cook.
Yeah, was 3 down last round, and he's 3 down so far through 7 here.
Yeah, he is warming it up.
That's the kind of round you need if you want to start challenging the leaders a little bit here. Put a little pressure
buddy.
on. 2 green squares?
2 green squares and no red.
No red.
No red.
Going to look at hole 8 now, par 4, 500 feet. This one kind of doglegs to the left after you get through this gap. You said last round is about the size of a goalie net. It's pretty accurate there. This is the traditional play where the flight's going right now. You want to land where these kind of carts are at. If you can get a little farther up towards that pine tree, that's a better angle. And then from there, a turnover or forehand off to the right. I will say that there is a gap on the right side. If you wanted to throw forehand, it is a little more obstructed. We did see Haft go that way on accident last round, and so he kind of took it. He is planning on taking it this round.
Excitement. It's a teaser. Payton clipped one, but settles in the middle.
Yeah, was very happy to not go somewhere else other than the fairway.
He led with the teaser.
Yeah, he wanted to go way right and then absolutely snapped it. Yeah.
Straight.
And
Too straight.
Yeah, way too straight. So now he's in a bit of a pickle here because he can't really take either lane.
Phil a little bit low out of his hand. He knew it, wanted it to jump up.
No one cleaned through the gap yet, and what they want at least. And Jonathan says, here, let me just show you how to do this real
Nice and easy. He's out there. He's got the easiest second shot of the bunch by far.
Correct. Payton got into a pickle here. Doesn't really have an angle to get up the fairway, so he said, Bryson, there's a line over there, right? He said, sure is. He said, let me try it.
Yeah, I mean, all roads lead to the basket. Just some take longer than others.
Phil's going to have a standstill here. He's just going to try to get it out there. And he has launched this into literally the best position you could off the tee. And so he's going to have a really good chance of trying to save his par from here.
I like how John, again, used control on this. Didn't take a big run up, didn't add more necessary things. He literally sat still, threw it, and then knelt.
Such a good control player. Unfortunately, Bryson here goes to throw it, and it never leaves the height of the long grass, and it gets knocked down immediately, probably 30 feet in front of him. And now he's having to kind of splice through a bunch of different gaps here to get himself in circle for his par look.
The fact that he's still going to be in the circle for his par look is
I know, it's insane.
so good. It's 2 thick shots.
Payton here also is going to get in circle, have a par look.
Love to see it. And Phil's going to have the same thing.
Yeah, Phil.
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, 3 tough shots off the tee.
Yeah.
And then some scrambling, and now we're looking at 3 pars.
Like I said, those shots Oh, off the
Oh,
band
lay
again.
down.
Those shots on most players turn to bogeys, at
Yeah.
least.
Well, that's why this is the chase card of USADGC.
Correct. These guys have earned it.
Unfortunately, Payton did get himself a red square. There you go, John. Safe par.
Yeah, I'm glad he was able to get that away. He didn't deserve the
Roll away.
right. Well, I don't know the roll away. I felt like he didn't deserve the bogey. He played the hole so well, or the red square, and good to see him at least get it. A couple more tap-ins left to go. Ooh.
Little front rim excitement. And there we go, red square. Unfortunately, look at John's scorecard. Love it.
Just gray across the board here, which is really good, and we're off to hole 9 now, 472 feet. This is the first brand new, fresh, complete new hole on the course. Is dead straight almost the entire way. You don't want to go left. There is a drop zone if you lose your disc left side because it's a lot of really thick brush. You really want to throw something kind of flippier, flat to hyzer to flat. There is a kind of slope off on that green. So if you go deep here, you're going to find yourself in some trouble. We saw last round 3 guys kind of try to go around the tree where Bryson's going right now, and they skipped deep.
Ooh.
And Bryson says, let me just take 10% off here.
Yeah. Let me just slow down. Then let me have the leaves slow down too. Yeah, the landing zone is very deceptive. You get one flare skip by that basket, and you're going to be 150 feet beyond it.
Phil's going to square that big tree right before the basket, so he'll have a straddle out of it. Jonathan said before they walked up to this hole that this is hole 5. This is hole 5, rinse and repeat. And he's throwing the exact same disc on the exact same line, and I think it's kind of hard to argue.
Yeah, I mean, it plays great. It's downhill. It's roughly the same distance. You don't want to miss right. It's very, very similar.
Yeah. Payton trying to follow suit here, throw something very flip to flat there, and it's going to be perfectly executed. We have 3 spectacular drives here on a hole that is on the easier side on the day.
I mean, this is the farthest person out. It's Phil, and he's, what, just outside the circle, if not on the circle?
Yeah, he was just inside the circle, I think. Yeah, the 5th easiest hole on the day, but man, you would not have known that based on this card.
Ooh. Thank you, basket.
Give it a kiss. Give it a hug.
All right, our farthest birdie out.
all of 8 feet.
Yeah.
He went high, too.
Yeah, he did.
Green squares coming up.
Yeah, we'd like to see that.
Had a bee fly by him for a minute there.
Glad that didn't distract him.
He said it hit him in the arm.
Boom.
3 green squares.
Yeah.
We'll take that. We're off to a great start here on the front 9 on our final round here. Taking a look at it. Jonathan at neg 3, Phil at neg 2, Bryson at neg 2, Payton at neg 3. And based on how the lead card is shooting right now, that would put Jonathan and Payton at tied for 4th. The leaders kind of are pushing. They're pretty similar gap right now between them before they hit the back 9. So if one of them blow up, you could move up the leaderboard a little bit more. But we have a really tight race for that 4th place right now, just with our card by itself. Thanks to our Patreon followers for supporting us and helping us get out there. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, share, do all those awesome things to help us continue to grow and provide more coverage. And thank you, Papa Wolf. I can't wait to see back 9 final round.
It was an honor. There I am. I'm pretty.